So sometimes you'll hear the accusation that Catholics and pro-lifers in general, but especially Catholics, aren't really pro-life, but we're just pro-birth because we only care about babies in the womb and don't do anything to take care of babies or families after birth. And that charge is laughably false. I mean, for someone to really take that seriously, they're not paying attention at all. Sometimes you hear that, oh, Catholics only talk about abortion, only talk about abortion. The fact is that Catholic bishops and priests and Catholic lay associations and the Pope himself have spoken just about on every social issue you can imagine, right? There's some papal document, there is some bishop's statement that's come out of the USCCB, or individual bishops or priests have spoken about this. Every social issue imaginable, not just abortion. Now, if you're only hearing what the church is saying about abortion, are you really listening to what the church has to say? That would be my question. But more to the point of what the church is saying, we could say, well, what is the church doing? Right? The church is the world's largest charitable organization. She operates hospitals and children's homes and orphanages and food pantries and halfway houses and all kinds of services to minister to the needs of people who are vulnerable from conception until death at all stages of life. Look at the good work done by groups like the Knights of Columbus, for example. It's like I said, it's really almost laughable. In fact, a comment was left on one of the other YouTube videos from this series on our YouTube channel, and the commenter even said, if you actually care about babies, you would provide more services for women carrying a pregnancy, low-income families, and raise money for food, supplies, housing, education, jobs, etc. for those in your community who need it. And my response to that was, yeah, the Catholic Church does all of those things. We really do. Now, could we do more? Sure, absolutely, we could do more, right? Our finances are limited. Our volunteer hours are limited. So we need help. And if you're interested in helping, go to your local Catholic Charities office and say, how can I help, right? I'd like to volunteer. I'd like to donate money. How can I help? Because we can always do more. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that those who accuse the church of not doing any of those things and not doing enough to care for people after they're born, let's say they're 100% right. And the only thing we cared about was babies in the womb before they're born. And we didn't do anything to support them afterwards. How would that change the moral truth that abortion is the killing of an innocent child in the womb, and that act itself is wrong? Right? It doesn't. It doesn't change that argument at all. I could be a real jerk who doesn't care about anyone and still say, hey, it's wrong to kill children in the womb. The fact that I'm a jerk doesn't change that fact. It would be as if I was walking down the street and I saw someone standing in front of a homeless person with a gun to their head, execution style, and they're about to kill that homeless person. And I say, stop, 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 you can't do that. And the person with a gun says, well, are you going to provide them housing? Are you going to provide them health insurance? Are you going to buy them food? Are you going to, send them to school? Can you take care of all this person's needs? And I say, no, I can't. And they say, well, then, unless you're willing to take care of all of this person's needs, then who are you to tell me I can't kill them? And they go ahead and shoot that person in the head. I mean, it's ridiculous. You could argue, well, that's one way of dealing with the homeless problem. You wouldn't have any more homeless people if you executed them all. But death, killing an innocent person, is never a way, never a legitimate way to solve the real problems that people face. So we as a church, absolutely, we care about people in need, and we do our best to alleviate those needs. But killing an innocent person is never a legitimate way to solve anyone's problem.